Welcome everyone to the Scissor Society podcast, brought to you by Wise Guys Scissor Society. Join us as we dive into conversation on everything from politics to the business climate. My name is Miguel. I'm a barber here in the city of Hartford, owner of Wise Guys Scissor Society, and CEO and founder of Scissor Society Inc., a nonprofit barber academy. I came here about 15 years ago, with a dream, nothing but a backpack, clippers, scissors, and a trimmer from Walmart. I started cutting hair in Bushnell Park with this little old man named Joe the Barber. He would give haircuts to the homeless people. I kind of picked up where he left off. One day he just disappeared from Bushnell Park, and I picked up right after that. It all started when I wanted to become a licensed barber. The only real barber school that made sense was a place in East Hartford. So I came here strictly for barber school, fell in love with a lady, and never looked back. So I came to Hartford for that. I came strictly for barber school. When I came homeless. I came with nothing but some clippers, some scissors, a Walmart trimmer in my backpack. And not too far from the park where I was sleeping at, homeless, I met a Muslim girl, and that changed my whole life. So I actually grew up poor as can be, but at a young age, my beard would always grow outrageous. We never had funds. We never really had money for me to be in the barbershop every single week. So I started by doing my own beard. Quickly, by the age of like 13, I got good at it, to the point where my friends started to notice and like, hey, your beard came out good. What barber did it? And I actually was like, hey, I did it myself. It got to the point where they all started asking me to do their beards and their cuts. And I didn't even really know that good, but I faked it. I faked it until eventually I got really good at it. And people started paying me $5 here, $5 there. At all odd hours of the day and night, people who couldn't get to the barbershop, didn't have the funds or the time, they started just paying me to do their haircuts. And I fell in love with the craft. I fell in love with it. So I knew immediately at a very young age that barbering was for me. I fell in love with the craft, and I found that it was my way out of, my current living situation. So one of the things that really sparked me to start a barber academy was all the challenges that come along with wanting to become a licensed barber. From the price, can be anything from $18,000 to $22,000 walking in the door. Also, the challenges that come along with, you got to go to cosmetology school to become a barber, and some of us get really thrown off by the fact that we have to do female hair, nails, makeup, colors, chemicals, long layers, things that really are never going to be done again in the barbershop world, in the barbershop setting. And so what ends up happening is you end up in a school, cosmetology school, paying $22,000 for school that you're really not interested in. It gets boring. You kind of feel like you're off to the side. You're not really partaking in class, engage in what the curriculum is all about. So going in and seeing all that from behind the scenes, I knew immediately I had to bring change to what it is, a barber academy. So the first thing I did was apply to become a nonprofit organization. And so that allows me to raise money from other pools and not really worry about tuition as much as another barber academy would. I'm looking to help people overcome the challenges that I faced when I was a barber. So having a barbershop in the middle of Hartford and a broken community means the world to me. I grew up in a community not too different from this, where mental health were issues, substance abuse were all issues. Even in the household, we had issues, alcoholism. So being blessed is clear to me that I'm supposed to use my barbershop to be a blessing unto others. And that's a job I don't take lightly. Every day I'm out here, not only am I cutting hair, but I'm talking to people, I'm having conversation, I'm helping them escape their, whatever their realities are, whatever their trials are and tribulations. We just spark conversation, and for even 10, 20 minutes while we're talking, they kind of forget their situation, smiles, they'll tell you their story. That all means a lot to me. It means a lot to me. In general, I do a lot of stuff for the community. I grew up homeless. Well, I didn't grow up homeless, but when I came to Hartford from where I grew up at, I was homeless for about a month while I kind of found my footing in Hartford. I was new to Hartford. All I really had was just clippers and a means to get away from the life I was living prior to getting here. And so immediately, once I started to build my barbershop in such a community, I was being asked by members of the community, hey, how much for a haircut? It was clear people were asking me for haircuts. They didn't really have the means to pay. I didn't realize they were living right next door in the shelter. So as time went by and the shop was closer to being built, I had promised them I would give them a free haircut. It wasn't a big deal. I didn't realize that would then spread in the shelter like wildfire. By the time I even opened, I had like 30, 40, 50 people coming to me, begging me, hey, when you open, can you please give me a free haircut? And so that's exactly what I did. I kept my promise. Immediately once I opened, I started giving free haircuts to the homeless community. Hartford Hospital got wind of it, Hartford Healthcare, a lot of community organizations, churches, a bunch of nonprofit organizations, they all got wind of what I was doing, and they all wanted in on what I was doing. So we collabed with Hartford Healthcare. We partnered up with several nonprofit organizations, church. We were giving out food, clothing, haircuts. The hospital was giving people medical attention, COVID vaccines, blood work, you name it, we've been doing it. And so I'm ever so grateful to be in this community. I'm a pillar of the community, and I will continue to be for as long as the community allows me. I would say that definitely put me on the map, but it put me on a whole different map, where in reality, once I started the barbershop, I didn't think any of these things. This wasn't in my business plan, right? I just kind of wanted to build a barbershop, hire some barbers. I wanted to be at peace. I wanted to cut hair in my own shop, kind of set my own rules, if you would. Some other barbershops I had worked at just wasn't working out for me, from scheduling to just how barbershops were operated. I knew I wanted to create my own. But landing in such a broken community, I started to give back, and it started to put me in a whole nother world where I started to focus more on the impact than the income. And so it sparked a whole nother world that I was not aware of. I do more free haircuts than I do money, haircuts for money now. I cut homeless people. I cut refugees. There's a nonprofit organization right around here that helps refugees coming from the Middle East. We gave a ton of free haircuts to them. We've been working with the community reentry centers to give free haircuts to people coming home from prison, looking for employment. We make sure that they're clean and sharp and ready for their job interviews. We help them. They come to the barbershop. We have conversation. We have mock interviews. Just in general, it would put me on a whole different map where I've been able to harness all the things that I've learned and apply to be a nonprofit and turn into a full-blown nonprofit barber academy. So the vibe, I would love to talk about the vibe in the barbershop. The vibe is beautiful, it's peaceful. We get people from all walks of life coming through here. We're very diverse. The music is on. We got kids running around laughing, joking, drawing on the walls. Like, it's cool in here. It's a place in the city where we all consider our sanctuary. In the middle of a broken neighborhood where, you know, peace is hard to come by. Once you cross the threshold of those doors, you know, you're in a safe space and a positive place, an empowering space. Is all very beautiful. The vibes in here are beautiful. I'm grateful. So yeah, just in general, we feel that cutting hair allows people to come and open up and tell us what they may be going through, some of the challenges they may be facing. We almost become that person's therapist for an hour. We can talk about whatever issues they may be going through, whatever's bothering them, even if they just need to get away for an hour. We'll lean them back, give them a shave, throw a hot towel on their face, and really help them just kind of relax from their daily struggles. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every opportunity I get to meet. Everyone who walks in has a different story. And if you treat people with dignity and respect, it's only a matter of time before they open up and tell you. Sometimes it takes 2 haircuts, 3 haircuts. But if you show them that you care and you show them that it's not just about their hair, they will come back and they will open up and tell you, and sometimes even ask for guidance. Some people are looking for the male's perspective, the male point of view. What would you do if you were in my situation? Some people who may even lack a male figure in their lives, that's what we're doing here. We're really changing lives. It's not even about the haircuts anymore. People are coming here to ask for resources. Hey, where can I find a job? Hey, where can I find a homeless shelter? The one next door is full. Hey, I'm at the shelter. I didn't like what they cooked today. For religious reasons, I eat different dietary restrictions. Do you know another place I can go? And it's really become a sanctuary for people in the neighborhood looking for resources. I'm able to connect them to those resources. So just in general, from from all the ideas that come through here, it was important that we kind of broadcast these conversations that we're having, as we realize the people in this community may not be the only ones that are having these problems. Maybe people in East Hartford are having these problems. Maybe people in Waterbury are having some of these issues. And so the idea of having a podcast came about because we wanted to reach more people and touch more lives and allow other people to interact and ask questions as well. Even maybe people that don't come to this barbershop. You know, maybe having a barber is very much a relationship that you know, is about loyalty. Maybe you can talk about your issues with us that you not, even if you're not getting a haircut here, you can come talk about this on our podcast. And you can expect for us to have answers. You can expect for us to reach out to others for answers too. This idea was very much about getting engaged with the community so that we can all solve some of our issues together. Not having someone to talk to can really destroy a man. So having someone to reach out to about your problems, maybe people that have been through it before, we're really trying to start something where people have a safe space to talk about it. Ideally, we want to talk about anything that can cross the conversation, any conversation that can come across in a barbershop, from politics to mental health, business climate, issues in the household. Whatever issues come about in your life, we want to talk about them. And we want to give you a safe space to express yourself and find answers to some of the issues. To me, it's very important because I didn't have that growing up. And even till this day, maybe subconsciously, that's one of my ways of wanting to create a podcast. Maybe I have questions that I still want answered. Maybe I'm looking for things I want to talk about that I can't talk about necessarily with the people in the barbershop. Maybe I want to talk about business. Maybe I want to talk about politics. Maybe I want to talk about nonprofit and how to go about starting one. These are all things I had to learn without any guidance. And so I want to use that platform to be able to reach and teach anyone who has some of the same questions that I had coming up and doing all this stuff. It wasn't easy. And so I'm trying to make it easier for them. I think it's important for you to watch the show, not just so you can sit around and talk on the weekends or once a week. I want to make sure that my podcast is something you can learn from. Every week you can expect someone different from all walks of life. You never know. I want to treat the podcast just like the barbershop would treat a walk-in. Any situation, you never know who's going to walk in. You just kind of in the barbershop waiting around for the next walk-in. The next walk-in can be a homeless man. The next walk-in could be someone who just came home from prison. The next walk-in could be a politician who's on his campaign trail. The walk-in right after that could be a police officer. The walk-in right after that could be a business owner. The walk-in right after that could be a Muslim. The walk-in right after that could be a Christian. I want to treat the podcast as any walk-in situation. Whatever comes through the door, we can assess, we can address, we can have those conversations in a safe space without judgment. One of the next things on my agenda is to get this nonprofit barber school rolling and help reach lives, countless lives. We've partnered up with many nonprofit organizations, from community reentry centers, halfway houses, Hartford Public Schools, and we're really trying to reach people and give them an opportunity through barbering, just like me, to change their lives and change their futures. We're gonna make it real easy for you guys to get a hold of us through social media, through the links down below. Get in touch with us if you want to come and have a conversation. This will be a safe space for you to talk about any issues you guys may be facing, any questions you guys may want answered. See you guys in the next walk-in.